I think I'd be a really good scheduler. They're all starting to cry. Maybe I was wrong after all. There should not be this many. I was recently looking for games about operating systems just to see if there was anything interesting or maybe something I could record a video about, and basically the first thing I came upon was this thing called You're the OS. And according to its GitHub repository, it's a game where you are the operating system of a computer, which, you know, is pretty self-explanatory. That's in the name, right? So basically you have to manage processes, memory, and I/O events, and yeah, basically you just have to play as the operating system, and I was very interested to see what it's like. It looks a little bit simplistic, but hey, we live in the modern day. We understand that graphics don't necessarily determine the quality of a game. Maybe it's fun either way, and I decided to try it, and honestly, it ended up being a lot more enjoyable than I anticipated. So I hope you guys will go ahead and experience this with me as I show you through my first ever experience with You're the OS. Right, so this is You're the OS. So this is a game by Pierre-Luc Brault. So I do not know anything about this game, but I just saw it's a game where you get to play as an operating system, and you guys know how much I love operating systems. So let's go ahead and see what this thing is all about. How to play. In this game, you're the operating system of a computer. You have to manage processes, memory, and input-output events. At the top of the screen, you can see your CPUs, and under your CPUs, you have a list of idle processes. You can click on an idle process to assign it to an available CPU. The same way, you can click on a running process to remove it from its CPU. Alright. Over time, idle processes go through 6 starvation levels. Each starvation level is represented by a different color and emoji. Assigning a process to a CPU allows it to go back to the first starvation level after a certain time. Some processes have a crown emoji. These are priority processes. Priority processes require more CPU time. When idle, they go through starvation levels faster than normal processes, so that makes sense. It's like there's a priority queue system. That's pretty reasonable. Starvation levels help you know which processes have been idle the longest. When a process stays idled for too long, the user becomes impatient and kills it. The job is to avoid this by swapping processes in and out of CPUs. A process can also terminate gracefully. In that case, you can simply remove it by clicking on it. So yeah, I guess if it has this like angel, like blue color, then we can just remove it because it's terminated normally. Sometimes a running process becomes blocked because it is waiting for an I/O event. Blocked processes waste CPU time. It is a good idea to remove them from the CPU until they are unblocked. When you have blocked processes, watch the I/O event bar. Make sure to click on it when it has events, otherwise your blocked processes will stay blocked until they starve. You also have to manage memory. Processes create memory pages when they run. Pages that are currently in use appear in white, currently unused pages appear in gray. So yeah, there we go, we see that. Sometimes you'll run out of RAM and new pages will be written on disk. You can move pages between RAM and disk by clicking on them. A small delay will be involved. I see. Process can only use pages from RAM, much like in a real computer. A processor will blink if trying to use pages that are on disk. This is when you need to swap pages. The pages that the process is trying to access will also blink. Alright, if you don't swap a process's pages when needed, the process will eventually starve and get killed. Once the number of killed processes reaches 10, the user gets really angry and reboots you. The game is then over. Your goal is to survive as long as possible without getting rebooted. Let's try not to get rebooted when we play this. And that's it for the tutorial. I don't know what difficulty I should put it on. There's what, so easy, normal, hard, harder, and insane, which reminds me of another difficulty system, but I guess for now let's put it on normal, since that's probably most basic tier, which it's intended to play on. I don't know. Memory pages on disk. Okay, let's just schedule 4 processes for now or something like that, I guess. Like, I don't know. Oh, okay. I see what's happening here. Oh no, this is okay. This is gonna get bad. This is gonna get real bad real soon. We already have a bunch of red guys. Oh no. It's on the like hourglass, but it's like not doing anything. I don't know why it's on the hourglass then. So we got a priority guy here. I made sure to put him in first. This is already really hectic, I have to say. We've got another priority guy coming in. Let's swap him out. Swap these 2 out. There we go. You know, I think I'd be a really good scheduler if I was hired to like work in a CPU. Come on, why is this hourglass guy getting like so upset? I actually don't get it. I thought the hourglass meant that like you couldn't do anything. I am kind of managing, although I already have a bunch of rage quits, so that's not very good. Wow, this is much harder than I expected it to be, and we're only on the normal difficulty. This is kind of crazy, but I get it. So this is the kind of game where I guess it's just managing timed resources. I have a feeling I'm going to be losing this in a hot second. All my processors are going red. This is really bad. I'm just gonna start queuing up the orange ones because let's not create any problems for ourselves before we have to. Process ID 1, we really gotta not let process ID 1 crash because that's usually like the kernel or something. Or like on Linux, I believe it's the init system, not the kernel. And we just took out PID33 even though it was like already red anyway. This is really bad. This is so bad. We're genuinely about to lose. No, okay, this guy's going so sad. They're going sad. They're going sad. I can't be having this. But okay, I think I figured out what was happening. When it stalls, I need to click the IO events button up here, and then that will process the events, which I guess makes sense. Maybe that was explained in the tutorial. I don't know. I kind of skimmed through it. I wasn't really paying all that much attention. To be completely real, yeah, I'm definitely figuring this out in action. There's no sound effects or anything, so it's like kind of simplistic in that regard. But honestly, yeah, I think you guys should definitely go ahead and download this. Obviously, there will be a link in the description to this, and maybe I'll even put one in like the pinned comment or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm interested to see what you guys think about this game so far, but I have a feeling I'm being a really effective CPU scheduler. Like, I'm kind of dominating this. There's very few processes actually going unheard, and I really should not have said that because immediately after that, they all start going red. Right. Priority requeue completed. Did I say priority requeue? I meant priority request. I don't know why I said that. I wish I had more CPUs to work with because this game would be a lot easier in that case. But maybe if we go to like the custom difficulty or something, there will be a way to handle that. Oh my god, I just unqueued that one right as it was about to finish. That is so upsetting. I just fumbled so hard. I swear, this is really reminding me of like some game, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe if I remember in editing, I'll like put a picture. I just unqueued that one. That was an absolute disaster. Okay, they're all going crying. They're all starting to cry. Okay, yeah, I'm about to lose. I'm actually about to lose. No, at some point I feel like in this game you just have too much to deal with. Like there's just no way to sort this out. Like at this point I have a feeling. And we already have 7 out of 10 rage quits. Bro, is this one about to die? Like please. There's so many of them that are about to die. They're all freezing up in here. All that smack I was talking saying I'd be a good CPU scheduler if I had to work as one. Maybe I was wrong after all. There should not be this many freezing cold processes right now. Oh no, I'm about to have a rage quit. I'm actually about to have a rage quit. Just to barely save that one. It's actually so nerve-wracking watching as the like blue tickers in the bottom go down. Auto sort? Okay, that's actually really useful. Let's go ahead and set that up. I didn't realize this game was just gonna give me that feature. I don't know why it was locked up until now, but like, hey, maybe it's because I've been playing for a long enough time. Wow, look, uptime 12. There's no way I've been playing for 12 minutes already. That is just kind of crazy. Please. Okay. No! What noise did I just make? That was horrible. I got rebooted, and we managed to have an uptime of 13 minutes, which is honestly a bit longer than I really expected to last. I thought I'll last maybe like 2 minutes and it would just get too overwhelming, but no, apparently I can go for quite a while, and what, like 500,000 points, you know, give or take if we round it. Let's go to the main menu and try again on like, I'm just too curious to see like an insane difficulty and just not try it. I feel like I have to go ahead and boot a game with one of these at least. So let's go ahead and put it on that and click play. Oh, 16 CPUs. Okay, let's just go ahead and like put all of them in. Okay, yeah, this is already insanely hard. I don't know if you guys can see this. There's absolutely no way I'm going to be handling all that. What am I doing? What am I doing? Unswap those. Okay. I got rebooted. Really? 52 seconds. I mean, it is a bit of a far cry from the 13 minutes we managed previously. I will have to say that much. Let's just hop back on normal difficulty and see how far we can go. Now that I more or less understand the principle of the game. So I'll see what I can do. Maybe I'll speed this up so you guys have an interesting experience of how far I'm getting. At first, I felt like I was doing pretty good, and most of my guys were yellow or green, but eventually I just started getting too many oranges, and as I get too many oranges, I start getting a lot of reds, and yeah, those guys eventually started crying, and just as the game continued, it got harder and harder to keep all of them scheduled. I actually really thought I was going to lose here, but yeah, then I actually did. Oh well, almost 10 minutes. Honestly, I have no idea how I managed to do so good on the first try. Considering this is also just a normal difficulty, this should not be any harder in principle, but whatever. What I noticed is that as soon as I have to swap any pages here on the right, I immediately start losing because I just have no idea what to do. So you know what? I'm gonna go back through the tutorial and see what it says about that. I don't know, I feel like I have to just click on these memory pages on disk as soon as that happens because, I don't know, like that's sort of all I've been able to do with them, right? I think I understand the swapping mechanic a little bit better now, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump right in, and hopefully I'm gonna get the best damn score that anyone's ever gotten on this game. Enjoy the voiceover while I play. It was in this game that I sort of really realized that a lot of the elements of the progression of this game are determined by RNG. I mean, I feel like there's just no way I could have handled all these guys, right? Like, the only way I did so well in the first round was probably because of some kind of RNG element, but yeah, as you can see, I was really struggling on this one. Well, I got rebooted again. If I'm not wrong, that was somehow even less uptime than it was before, and yet, what, is that like a higher score? I think that's a little bit better. That's closer to 400,000 than it was previously, but I guess I'm just not a very good operating system scheduler. But hey, before I finish off this video, there is one more feature I want to see, which is custom. So I guess if we click on custom, then, so I'm gonna go with everything default, except I'm gonna give myself 8 CPUs to see what it would be like, and maybe I'll be able to last longer that way. The only way to find out is to actually try, so let's get into it. Having 8 cores to play with, I realized that actually I could develop a new strategy. As you see, for the first little while, I do much better than I ever did in any of my games. And my new strategy was just that I would keep green ones in their CPU slots until they were actually needed to be removed. And this would generally just slow down how fast they would tick down. But, as with all the previous games, I eventually had a moment where there were just too many of them, and I started getting more and more yellows, and then I got more oranges, and at around this point, after I unlocked the auto sort already, I started getting a few reds, who should show in a second here. Yeah, and at that moment, it was just an absolute steamroll. Well, we lasted 22 minutes this time, which is actually a new record. That's about 10 minutes better than what I had before. What I'll say is initially it starts off a lot easier, but then it just ramps up. It ramps up like crazy, and at the end, really, I didn't know what I could possibly do to fix that. Like, that was actually so hard. Arguably, I'd say this maybe makes it harder, but hey, we got 22 minutes survived and about 1.5 million scores, so not bad at all.